So, in preparing my remarks, of course, as a good industry analyst of some years standing, I've got to look at the numbers. I've got to look at actually what we're talking about. So, Zimbabwe by numbers, and I've not got a huge list of numbers to share with you, but these are probably well known to each and every one of you in the room. But in terms of my preparation, they weren't immediately known to me until I sat down to prepare my remarks. So, with a population of 14.2 million, those that have access to an account with a financial institution is 17%. So that financial inclusiveness aspect that I spoke of. Those with access to a mobile account, where they're doing something involving payment of bills, or the send and receiving of funds, that's 22%. So those challenges that I spoke of a moment ago, in terms of how your industry is transforming, if we look at those with a bank account, 17%, those with a mobile account, 22%. You're playing catch up. You've got there's a challenger in your midst. For a discussion that's about digital, is that if I look at the digital penetration of devices and the pervasiveness of the internet in Zimbabwe today, again, the figures are really interesting for me. So if we look at internet penetration, is 11%. So that's perhaps well understood given the requirements of running internet access, whether it's through the telco network or through the mobile network. But 11% in an emerging economy, again, that's not altogether unheard of. Where it gets really exciting, that woke you up, where it gets really exciting is the fact that the digital penetration is much, much, much higher through the mobile device, which represents 89%. So 12.6 million of Zimbabwe's 14.2 million citizens are already using mobile devices, a figure that's only going to grow. So forgive me for stating the obvious, but you've got to get that mobile strategy, that mobile first strategy, absolutely right. I am not going to patronise you and say that I'm telling you that as if you didn't know that. But I think it's significant for me to recognise and to acknowledge that that is what the market is saying from a statistical point of view. Therefore, anything that you're doing as part of that mobile first strategy, we need to be enabling that. We need to be supportive of that. Not just we at MISIS, but we through the ECB as well, in order to help that penetration, that usage, that interaction to grow. Some other interesting statistics. If anybody's interested in card-based transactions, I know I am, card-based transactions in March 2015, $430.3 million US through a plastic card. Contrast that, same time period, March 2015, mobile and internet-based transactions, $476 million. So, in terms of how customers are interacting and transacting, yes, there's plastic card, that's going to be in existence, whether we're checking into hotels and paying for goods and services. But for me, it's that other aspect of saying, it's those mobile remittances. It's using the mobile device by which to implement, orchestrate, transact, interact, do something with payments. If anybody still writes checks, and checks still are a feature of our banking industry, $11.1 million in comparison. So whilst you still have to have the traditional processing aspects of your banking industry to cover things like checks, to cover things like card and other plastic-based services, whether it's credit or debit, for me, the industry trend is quite simply that emergence and evolution of digital in the payments aspect as well. Again, a discussion that we can expand upon either over lunch or at a supplementary opportunity, point in the future. So the numbers, Again, I'm not talking about the GDP figures or anything like that, but the numbers in terms of the growth opportunity for engaging through digital and engaging through mobile, excellent. It may feel difficult and challenging when you're dealing with this every single day, rather than someone who's just flown in for a few hours and goes again. But if I look at where the opportunity is, I look at the starting point, I have reasons to share my optimism with you. Less optimism, perhaps, around the reformation of the banking sector. Why? Is that peculiar to Zimbabwe? Reforming a banking sector is horrible. It's complicated, the lawyers get involved. I'm obviously a frustrated lawyer, I wasn't bright enough to get into law school. It's a very challenging activity. It sucks the life out of everything that goes on around it. But it has to be done, because reforming the banking sector to add those levels and layers of stability is going to be a feature. So back to my real world comment that I made at the beginning. Whilst I would love it to just be unicorns and rainbows about digital channels and doing all these great things, the fact is these developments are taking place in conjunction with other reformations of the banking sector. So whilst we all want to run at a high speed towards the next set of opportunities to engage with customers, there will be some things that will be an anchor slowing you down. And the reformation aspect is just going to be a feature perennially, rather than just something you struggle with in 2015, 2016, and by 2017, it's gone. It won't be like that.